Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Yes, guys, what's up? My name is Kaleem, aka Tangent, musician, workshop leader, beatboxer, all that jazz. Yeah, it's been a while since I've made a reaction video, but I'm gonna change it up a little bit. So basically, I'm going to react to what I watch on YouTube. Not just music, but culture, what's popping, whether that's like Michael Jackson or things about culture, food, I don't know, all that sort of stuff. So deep diving into YouTube on different subjects. Don't want to get too political with different videos, but yeah, just talk about what's popping really in society. I found a really cool video on YouTube about vaping culture. I'm not a vapor, I don't smoke, don't drink, quite straight edged, but I found a video about vaping, the pros and the cons of vaping, conducted by this guy called Afshin, and I think there's only one person. I don't know if there's like many. I'm not too sure if there's like a team, but it's called Out Here Culture. I think the guy explores different cultures basically around. Ignore that, guys. The top right corner, exploring different things about culture basically, and what's good, what's bad, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And yeah, guys, let's react to this. This is Out Here Culture. My name is Tangent, Beatbox Tangent. Do all that sort of stuff. You know me. I've been around for a while. If you like the channel, guys, subscribe. Come on, help a brother out. And let's jump into all these different videos in the world. And there are thousands of videos to react to. So yeah, man, Tangent, aka Kaleem Bartlett. Follow me on Instagram as well. You know how to find me. Just put Tangent into Google and you'll find me. Let's do this. I investigated Britain's vaping obsession. Out Here Culture. Let's go.
I was smoking cigarettes, but my friends were like, "Oh, you're still smoking cigarettes? Why haven't you moved on to vaping? It's much more, you know, socially acceptable."
I have and always will believe that vaping is a healthier substitute to smoking.
The bar is pretty low to say something is safer than tobacco.
I'm in Birmingham at the NEC, where hundreds and hundreds of vapers have gathered to celebrate their culture of vaping. So let's ask them what it means to them and find out more about vapes.
Yeah, man. Ooh, let's go. Hey, 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 come on, let's go. That's hard, man. Production on this is very sick, you know, very high quality, like BBC studio quality, man. So big ups to Afshin for putting this together. Vaping culture, yeah. You know, you walk down the street, vaping shop, Premier shop, Spa. Do you know what I mean? They're everywhere. Look, if you like vaping, I'm not judgmental. You do your thing. It's cool. Is it better than smoking? I don't know, man. You get reports and you see stuff online about vaping. You know, people's lungs have collapsed because they vape too much. So is it as addictive as smoking cigarettes? I don't know. I've tried it once or twice. You know, I do like the taste of it. You know, I do like smoking shisha. Sometimes haven't done it for a while, but yeah, man, like, you know, they say it releases stress, but is it good for you? Is it good for humanity when people breathe the smoke out? I don't even know the technical words for it, guys. Like, what was it, mushroom air? I don't know, man. Whatever it is, when you breathe in that in secondhand, is that good for you? Does that, you know when you breathe secondhand smoke, it's usually quite bad. Do vapes do the same? I don't know, man, but let's check it out.
You will hear my story. You will hear my story.
Hey.
You will hear my story. Just breathe with me.
Hey.
You will hear my story.
Now, it's probably not just me who's noticed that vaping is on the rise. Wherever you go, office workers, students, parents, everyone seems to be vaping some sort of device. And these products can bring people together and it can be a sense of relief. But nicotine is a highly addictive substance. So I want to find out what are the pros and some of the cons involved. You could say,
Well, those stats saying 67.5? Man, that's mad.
At the good, the bad and the ugly of vaping. So let's find out.
No, bro, it's the good, the bad, and the vaping. Whee! I've never been to an expo. You know, I like the flashy lights. I like the colours and the LEDs and all that sort of stuff. But you go in there, it's probably like a mist, you know, because everybody's just vaping all at once. A big vapor, a big ever-fluorescent vaping cloud. Projects, man. It's mental, innit? Hey, people performing. Give me their beatbox.
Since day one of Vape Expo, I've been coming. I was smoking from like the age of 9 years old, right? Till like, what, like 14 years ago, I stopped smoking and started on vaping. So yeah, it's all good.
With vaping, it helps.
Are you substituting one thing for another? That's the thing, isn't it? You don't know. Yeah, let's keep going.
Mental health on my anxiety, and you know, if I don't have like my vape, then I get very anxious, very irritated, and you know, it just.
Is it something that's near your pillow? Is it that close to you?
Yeah, it's in my hand constantly or in my pocket.
Right,
I don't put it down.
Right.
I'm in my late 30s, so I always wanted to smoke. Tried my first cigarette, wasn't impressed, and then I wanted to try the vaping just to see what it would taste like, what I was missing. And then I've just fell in love with it. It's just a far better way to manage, even just instead of eating junk and things.
I got into vaping, what, 13, 14 years ago. I was on 85 a day. 85 a day.
It's an epidemic, isn't it, guys? Do you know what I mean? How much money do these cigarette companies actually make? What are their profits? I know you don't see adverts of smoking anymore, but it's a massive industry, isn't it? So, I don't know, man. Like, don't get me wrong. If a company is trying to find a way to reduce the amount of nicotine that people smoke, but also provide that feeling of smoking, that's better, right? I don't know. That's better for your lungs, I suppose. I always had this mind and this thought of this invention of you have like an inhaler, but it's like smoking as well, but it's not damaging your lungs, but it gives you that feeling of smoking. Imagine if we had something like that, you know, that it's actually healthy to smoke. That'd be quite crazy. But it shows you, isn't it? Like it's an addictive thing. You know, 80 cigarettes a day, that's not normal. It's a massive reflection of how poor people's mental healths are in society today. And it's a reflection of society, basically. It's a reflection of the world that we have to depend upon these things for our mental health. It's mad.
0, yes. So I did it to become healthier. I've tried NRT, I've tried the non-smoking stuff with the NHS. None of it works. Eventually, vaping works.
My best friend, her boyfriend, actually introduced me to vaping, and I haven't looked back since, really. It still gives you that nicotine that your body craves. People would prefer that you vape because it's like fruit over nicotine. Do you know what I mean? The smell of tobacco isn't the best, is it? So
isn't there nicotine in vapes though? Like, so what is the difference? I don't know, guys. Tell me in the comments. I don't know. I'm not a vape. I'm not a smoker. How much nicotine is in vapes in comparison to normal cigarettes? I don't know. Tell me.
I think it's more socially acceptable to vape. I think it's better for you, but the only thing is, as I said, the adults set the trend for the younger people to vape, so I think that's a problem.
This for me is about like offering something that helped me, and now I want to use it to help other people and give them an avenue, give them different flavors, opportunities to try new things. Because you might not like a tobacco flavour, you might not like this, but if we have enough that you're going to find something that you like, something that you resonate, it might actually be the thing that helps you stop.
3 million adults in the UK.
Such a, marketable product, isn't it? No wonder people are spending thousands and thousands of pounds on vaping stuff. And yeah, it's mad.
Are currently using vaping as a shield to stay off smoking cigarettes. It's alarming that 20% of kids in the UK have picked up a vape.
All research at the moment says it is 95% safer than smoking.
We have said, as the NHS, that it is safer. So, you know, like the trusted places have said, like, it's safer than this, it's safer than that. But then we've got people making legislation around the topic that they don't understand.
Now, some of the advice out there from the UK government makes vaping seem to be like a medicine, helping traditional tobacco users with cessation and harm reduction, and the vape industry markets some of their products as if they're sweets and toys. It's clear that something doesn't quite add up. I'm about to jump on a call with Professor Andrew Bush, a respiratory expert. Let's actually find out what happens to the body when we start vaping.
I'm out there now, I've been speaking to people who vape, and the first thing they kind of do when we talk about the habit that they have, they talk about how in their eyes, it's safer. You wrote recently in response to Public Health England's claim that it's 95% safer than traditional smoking. That's kind of something that's potentially misleading.
I don't see how you can say something is safe if you don't know what's in it. When these chemicals are heated for inhalation, more chemicals are produced. You don't know what's in.
Again, I'm not being judgmental. You do your thing, innit? But putting chemicals in your body like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, you can say, oh, you know, if you drink a Red Bull, you're putting chemicals in your body. And you have a point. But to put these type of chemicals into your body and think it's okay, man, mad.
So how can you say they're safe? We know, because we've seen it, that some young people get acutely sick as a result of vaping. They can bleed from their lungs can become inflamed. At least a small minority, thank God, have had to go to the intensive care unit and be put on a life support machine, and some even on a heart bypass machine to save their lives. So we know the acute toxicity of vaping is greater than the acute toxicity of tobacco.
There's two sides of vaping, as you said, the good and then there's the bad. The bad is like the knockoffs and like aiming some vapes like to be more appealing to kids, so kids get into vaping.
You talked about flavors. I totally get it that
it is a fad, isn't it? Vaping is very fashionable, especially with young people. I've seen so many young people vape, and I'm not even talking like 16 and above. I'm like 13, 14. And I think we've got into a habit where it's become normalized in culture. And even to some extent, even promoted. The arguments of, oh, it's much better for you than smoking or drinking and things like that. You have a point, yes, you definitely have a point. But again, putting those type of chemicals in your body and thinking you're gonna have a normal, healthy life, you know, I don't know, man. Let's just keep going.
makes you attracted to it and lights you up, and that's appeal. What would you say about like some of the stuff that could possibly be targeting children indirectly or directly as a result of having stuff that's quite colourful or flavourful, bright in the designs? What do you think about that side?
I don't, again, I mean, coming from an age when we had chocolate cigarettes and things like that, you always like, I couldn't wait. Kids still shouldn't have access to these things.
So what are chocolate cigarettes? Because in my mind I've got a picture, but I haven't heard of it. What would that? What's that?
It was basically, it was in like, it looked like an actual packet of cigarettes, but they were chocolate with paper on it. When I had them as a kid, I always wanted to smoke just to try it. Kids nowadays, it's...
A chocolate cigarette? Are you mad? What was it, just chocolate? You just smoking chocolate? White chocolate, dark chocolate. That's a bit crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Has anybody tried chocolate cigarettes? 3p. It only costs 3p. That's mad. I want to get some. Yeah, tell me where I can get some chocolate cigarettes. Probably from Amazon, but yeah, let's go.
There's a difference between getting addicted to like cans of Red Bull to be addicted to like nicotine and things like that. You've got to know the risks. I'm an adult, I know the risks. I'm prepared to take them, but kids, I don't think they kind of realise yet just how bad all these things were.
If you were to look online, there's so many podcasters and influencers who are selling you a whole assortment of nicotine-based products. Now, back in the day with smoking, the advertising industry targeted people using sex appeal, trying to sell you a lifestyle. Now that lifestyle has really amplified into an addictive kind of social media hit. We should probably learn our lessons from the traditional advertising tobacco playbook and be wary about some of the things that people are selling to people online.
I would ask you to think about nicotine patches and nicotine gum, which have been used for years to help people quit smoking. Have you ever seen them advertised like that? Have you ever seen a nicotine patch on the shapely naked arm of a young woman? No, I don't think you will have done. The advertising, all these different...
Yeah, you know what it is, right? I used to smoke a bit when I was younger, and it's the feeling, isn't it? It's the feeling of holding the cigarettes. It's the feeling of, like, not just smoking it, but having something to play with. And I think we're a very fidgety society. We, whether that's because we have poor mental health, we move our hands too much. Maybe it's because it's just a reaction to being anxious or something. But yeah, we're a very fidgety society. We move our fingers a lot and all this. So having a cigarette like this, moving around, smoking it, moving around, I think becomes a part of the addiction as well, and a part of the, performance of smoking. That's why I think like nicotine patches, for some people it might work, but it's not the same feeling as like holding something tangible in your hand, you know what I mean? Yeah, let's keep going.
Flavors, the colors, making them look like sweets. This is not advertising to grown people who want to kick smoking, and I'm all for them kicking smoking. I'm all for them having everything they can to help them kick smoking, but this is not the way you advertise it. You're advertising to young children.
Making them look like sweets.
Yeah.
That was wrong by anyone's means. But then, like us, we suffer from like ADHD, autism, and stuff like that, and to us that attracts us.
Obviously, it's bad for most people to vape because of lungs. It can cause a lot of problems. But
I'm diagnosed with ADHD as well, and I think it's just the avenue. Do you know what I mean? It's just that something to do, isn't it? Like I find, I don't know, making music, project creation as that's where I put my ADD, ADHD. So supplementing something like this for something else. These guys could be doing loads of cool stuff, creative stuff, can be doing loads of cool stuff. But yeah, let's keep going.
at the end of the day, it's what we like, but when kids do it, it's ruining their body at an early age. It's stopping their future from happening. And that's not really what you want. You want the future generation to grow up and become who they want to be, not ending up in a place they can't recover from.
That's more adulty and more professional than what they used to do. So I think they have counteracted the children trying to vape.
I think it's important to have the label on it as well, the warning and stuff like that.
Of course, because you know what you're letting yourself in for when you read that. Like it's not like gonna stop you, but it will inform you, because it's still like to me it's not a bad habit, because it's basically vapor. I know that there is chemicals in there, but if someone,
it's easy to lie to oneself, isn't it, about stuff, what's good, what's bad, and we get into a habit in society of convincing ourselves these things. But yeah, man, it's I just see it as more of a repercussion, really, of the society that we live in. People's poor mental health is always a reflection of that. Let's keep going.
I don't know, I just find it more
Whoops, I timed
acceptable than smoking. Like if you've seen a 12-year-old with a vape, you'd be like, oh, that's not good. But if you've seen a 12-year-old with a cigarette, you'd be like, oh my god. Do you know what I mean? There is a big difference.
For sure. And what does it mean as a habit for you guys to share amongst yourselves? The culture of it, or just the...
We all talk about what vapes we're vaping at the moment, don't we, on Discord? And like Sophie, my girlfriend, she'll like say, oh, I've got lemon and lime, and Calvin likes, what does Calvin
likes? Like fruit bomb and strawberry.
Yeah, it creates a community, doesn't it? It's just sad that it's created a community where people have depended upon a thing that kind of harms them. Do you know what I mean? But, you know, these people seem really lovely and sweet and genuine and, you know, yeah, I was interested in it.
Okay, right. So it's kind of become like a part of your peer group to some extent, right? Would you say that you're having less nicotine now with the vapes than you were prior when you were on cigarettes? What do you think?
I don't know, because I kind of like, I run out every like 3 days, so it's kind of hard to tell how much I'm actually getting.
Fine, fair enough.
As a doctor who, you know, you care about this, and if there's someone watching right now who kind of ultimately does want their lungs back, what is the reality of breaking that addiction, and kind of what would be your direct advice for them right now?
We know that people have given up smoking, have given up vaping. It can be done. Those who've, like yourself, I've been lucky enough never to have smoked or vaped in my life and never been in that position. But it can be done. You can kick that habit. You're in a fight if you're going to do it. But it's if you can, it's just so worthwhile. If I went up to somebody and offered them a drink in a bar without telling them what
It's all in the mind, man. It's all in the mind. It just depends on how strong you are, how strong your mind is. Do you get me? Like, yeah. I remember I used to smoke in China, and I remember my health breaking hard because my skin became so bad out in China, and I instantly stopped smoking. Instantly, like that. I know it's harder for some other people, but, you know, it's all in the mind, man. If you really want it, you can go and get it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, this is a cool little documentary.
Regions where they'd run a mile, or at least they jolly well ought to, and you're being asked to inhale stuff that you really don't know what it is.
If you are a kid, if you are young, don't start vaping, but don't start smoking either. And if you don't smoke at all, don't start vaping.
That's easier said than done, isn't it? If you got a family that all smoke, then likely that child is going to also smoke as well. Do you know what I mean? It all comes from the parents. It all comes from the adults. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know.
I spoke to a bunch of people who were telling me about how vaping helps them alleviate stress and anxiety, so that for them, vaping helps them with their mental health. And I totally get that, because us humans were creatures of habits, right? And we will grab a substance to help us get a short-term relief. Although I find it worrying with nicotine, because that substance in particular really rewires the brain, and if you're not careful, will totally change and restructure the chemicals in your brain related to the receptors to do with dopamine. So if you have a baseline, nicotine can potentially spike that up to 150 to 200% above what your body would normally be attuned to taking. So if that becomes the new normal for you, it's really going to wreak havoc on your kind of emotional well-being, because you're constantly now not just escaping anxiety, you're now trying to get out of the anxiety induced by having this habit of puffing away on this product that you think is your best friend. But in reality, if you lean too hard into it, you might create even more problems down the line for your body, for your mind, and for your well-being. So I feel like it's slightly different to something like caffeine, whereas I'm a big caffeine coffee drinker, and it is up there in terms of ranking as a dangerous substance in terms of addiction. But that really pushes a chemical receptor in your brain to just make you less tired. So it is not a great thing to lean on to, but I don't think it has the same impact as nicotine. And the issue here, I guess, across the board is trying to educate people and to also find a balance and moderation in what we do. I feel like we really need to be aware of how many people can be swept into using these products, and making sure that people's mental health and well-being is taken care of, rather than being in the hands of companies that just want to market mass products. And also experimenting with devices that we do not know the long-term effects on our body yet. So we do not want to be the guinea pigs.
Hard, sick. This guy, man. Can't wait to check out more of his stuff. 100%. You know, fads can be good, they can also be bad as well, you know. If you start something like this, yeah, the long-term effects can hit you pretty badly. But yeah, also it's a marketable product, you know. How many billions are the tobacco companies actually making? You know, so yeah. Love the music in this. Sick. Despite the 2025 ban on a single-use disposables, the UK vaping market remains resilient, pivoting to reusable devices. The industry is currently valued at an estimated 2.8 billion annually, supplying over 5.5 million adult users nationwide. That's quite a damn lot. How many of them are children?
Do you see the shadows in the gray light?
Yep. Come on. Makes me wanna rap. Take it back like that. The UK Vaping Industry Association, UKVLA, maintains that vaping is a vital exit ramp for smokers. Not really. While promoting the harm reduction angle, the trade body advocates for stricter retail licensing to prevent youth access and eliminate illicit trade. Interesting. Sorry guys, I got in my own little zone of beatboxing then. Okay. On October 2026, vaping products duty tax is projected to generate 500 million annually, and that's mental. And pledged toward the NHS. Okay, so at least they're tax hard, you know what I mean? You know, it's a catch-22 though, isn't it? However, the long-term public health impacts of high concentration nicotine, salts and synthetic cooling agents remain a subject of ongoing independent study. Yeah. Yeah, man, that's sick. That's pretty hard. Let's have a look on ChatGPT real quick to see what the fundamental differences between nicotine and caffeine. So, nicotine and caffeine are both stimulants, but they work very differently in the brain and body. Here's a comparison. Nicotine, tobacco plants, coffee beans, okay, they both come from the ground, isn't it? Primary action, activates nicotine, a big word, receptors, blocks, okay. Main effect, boosts dopamine, alertness and awareness, reduces sleeplessness, increases alertness. Addiction potential, very high. Very, very high. So even in the vapes, there are a lot of nicotine, well, maybe less in comparison to smoking, but to cigarettes, sorry. But still, the addiction is still there. Withdrawal, yeah, can smack your anxiety. Yeah, it's mild. You can not drink coffee for a while and not be addicted to it. Health risks, very high, especially when smoked, low to moderate for caffeine. How they work, mimics the neurotransmitter, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound good. Yeah, high in addiction when it comes to anything nicotine. Yeah, I'm not going to go well into it, but I thought that was a really good documentary, really highlighting. Also, one thing I liked about that documentary, it wasn't judgmental. It's very easy to be like, why are you smoking this stuff? Why, blah, blah, blah. It was a very calm approach, and that's something that I really like, but also explores the reasons why in society we have gone down this route of being quite obsessed with vaping. I think it's a fad. I think the cons are that young people are getting into it hard and it's not good. Yeah, you can make the argument it's better than smoking, but still, you know, you got all these influences in society trying to promote, and they're probably getting money from brands. And then young people as early as 10 are probably picking up and starting, you know. That's not a good thing, in my opinion. There needs to be education on this. But, yeah, very well executed documentary. Great music as well, and very high visuals. Yes, guys, go and subscribe to Out Here Culture. It's pretty cool. Gonna dive more into their content, or his content. Also as well, guys, if you like this, subscribe. Come on, I'm making a lot more long form videos, not just music, even though I am going to be jumping on music real soon as well, guys, so stay tuned for that. My name's Kaleem, aka Tangent. Yeah, man. Hope you guys have a good one. Tell me what you think about this documentary. Let me know in the comments, guys. Is vaping good? Is it bad? What are your experiences? Tell me your story as well. Peace, Tangent.
Yo, make sure you follow Tangent on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Just like that.